How to Be Successful in Communication at Work. Written by Empower Audio. Introduction: The secret behind every great career. Have you ever met someone who seems to move through work effortlessly? They don't just talk well, they connect. People listen when they speak, trust their decisions, and remember how they made them feel. Now, think about someone who struggles in the same workplace. They might be skilled, intelligent, even brilliant. But their ideas often get overlooked. They interrupt without realizing it. They speak from tension instead of clarity. The difference between these two people isn't talent. It's communication. Communication is the invisible thread that ties success together. It's not about fancy words or being loud in meetings. It's about understanding people, expressing your thoughts with calm confidence, and creating relationships where everyone feels valued. This audiobook is about mastering that skill, the art of communication, so that your words, tone, and presence become your greatest tools for success. Chapter 1: The Power of Presence. When I was in my first job after college, I had a mentor named Maya. She wasn't the loudest in meetings. In fact, she often said very little. But when she did speak, the room quieted. One day I asked her, "How do you do that? How do you make people listen?" She smiled and said, "I listen first, and when I do speak, I mean every word." That's when I realized presence is power. Presence isn't just about being physically there. It's about being mentally and emotionally here. It's the energy that says, "I'm not distracted, I'm listening, I respect this moment." When you walk into a room with that kind of energy, people sense it, even before you speak. Here, how to build presence. Pause before you talk. Don't rush to fill silence. Silence makes space for power. Listen with your whole body. Turn toward the speaker. Nod when you understand. Breathe. Every confident communicator uses breath as their anchor. Next time you're about to present or share an idea, take one deep breath. Imagine your breath traveling down your spine, grounding you like roots into the floor. That single moment of stillness can turn nervous energy into calm confidence. Chapter 2: Emotional Intelligence in Communication. In most workplaces, communication isn't broken because people can't speak. It's broken because people don't understand emotions. Emotional intelligence, often called EQ, is the skill that separates strong communicators from everyone else. Think about a time when a coworker snapped at you. They might have been under pressure, but their tone felt personal. In that moment, it wasn't about what they said, it was about how it felt. That's emotional intelligence at play. You can't control what happened, but you can control your response. There are 4 parts to EQ. Self-awareness, knowing what's happening inside you. Maybe you're anxious, defensive, or tired. When you name it, you don't get lost in it. "I'm feeling nervous right now." That simple statement turns emotion into information. Self-regulation, the pause between stimulus and response. Someone criticizes your report. Instead of reacting, you breathe. You say, "Thanks for the feedback. I'll take another look." That pause is maturity in action. Empathy, the ability to sense what others might be feeling. You notice your coworker's shoulders are tense, or their voice is smaller than usual. You check in, "Hey, you seem off today, everything okay?" Empathy builds bridges faster than logic. Relationship management, using awareness to communicate effectively. When you combine empathy and self-regulation, your words become healing instead of harmful. Emotional intelligence is not weakness. It's strategy. It's knowing that when you understand feelings, both yours and others, you hold the real influence. Chapter 3: The Art of Listening. Here's a little secret. The most persuasive people are not the best talkers, they're the best listeners. Listening is the rarest skill in modern work culture. We multitask. We check emails during meetings. We prepare replies before the other person finishes. But real listening, deep listening, is magnetic. There's a story about an executive named Jordan. He worked for a fast-growing company where meetings were chaotic. People talked over one another, and ideas were constantly missed. Jordan decided to try something new. In his next meeting, he said almost nothing. He just listened, nodded, and summarized what people said. By the end, his team turned to him for the final decision. He hadn't said much, but he had heard everyone. That's leadership through listening. Practice this. When someone talks, focus your full attention. Reflect back what you heard, so what you're saying is. Validate their feelings, even if you disagree. I get that you're frustrated. Let's figure out what could work better. Listening is not passive. It's active respect. Chapter 4. Speaking with clarity and confidence. Now let's talk about your voice. Your words matter, but how you deliver them matters more. Have you ever been in a meeting where someone rambled on, and you tuned out halfway? It wasn't because their idea was bad. It's because they lacked clarity. Clarity is confidence in action. Here, how to speak with clarity. Start with purpose. Before you speak, ask, what's my message? If you can't explain it in one sentence, your audience won't remember it. Structure your thoughts. Use the simple point, reason, example formula. Point, I think we should adjust our deadline. Reason, because the feedback cycle takes longer than we planned. Example, last time we rushed and missed key edits. End with confidence. Don't trail off. Don't end with, I don't know if that makes sense. Instead say, does that align with what others are seeing? Remember, confident speech doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you respect your message enough to deliver it clearly. When you speak, do so as if your words carry weight, because they do. Chapter 5. Body language, your silent communication. Before you say a word, your body has already spoken. People read your energy faster than they hear your sentences. That's why a confident communicator pays attention to posture, gestures, and tone. Picture two people giving the same presentation. One fidgets, avoids eye contact, and keeps glancing at notes. The other stands tall, breathes steadily, and makes open gestures. Who do you believe more? Exactly. Here are some key body language anchors. Eye contact. Look at people's eyes long enough to connect, not to stare. Posture, keep your chest open, shoulders back, feet grounded. Gestures, move naturally. Don't point, invite. Tone, smile when appropriate. Warmth in your tone can make even tough feedback easier to receive. And remember, authenticity over perfection. The goal isn't to perform, it's to be present. Chapter 6. Understanding different personality types. At work, one of the greatest sources of communication failure is assuming everyone thinks like you. Some people crave details, others want big picture vision. Some need warmth, others just want results. If you can learn to read these styles and adapt, you become unstoppable. Let's meet 4 classic workplace types. The driver, results-focused, decisive, and fast-paced. Speak directly, get to the point, and show efficiency. Example here, what we achieved, and here's the next step. The analytical, logical, data-driven, cautious. Provide facts and context before asking for decisions. Example, the data shows a 20% increase in engagement. Here, what contributed? The amiable, warm, relationship-oriented, harmony-driven. Start with connection, not correction. Example, I appreciate how hard you've been working. Let's explore a few options together. The expressive, visionary, creative, emotional. Paint a picture and let them dream with you. Example, imagine how exciting it will be when this project launches. No one fits perfectly into one box, but knowing these archetypes helps you flex your communication style. It's not manipulation, it's respect. Chapter 7. Handling Difficult Conversations. Every workplace has tension. A project runs late. A teammate misses a deadline. A manager gives unclear direction. The question isn't if you'll face hard conversations, it's how you'll handle them. When you avoid conflict, small frustrations turn into silent walls. When you face it with calm curiosity, trust grows. Let's imagine this. Maria, hey Alex, can we talk for a second? I've noticed a few reports have been delayed. Alex sighs, yeah, I know. I've been overloaded since Sam left. Maria, I get that. I'm wondering what support would make it easier to meet the next one on time. Maria didn't accuse or blame. She named the issue, expressed empathy, and opened a door. That's emotional maturity in motion. A 3-step map for every tough talk. Begin with respect. I value our teamwork and I want to keep it strong. State the facts. Hear what I've observed. Collaborate on solutions. What could help us move forward? Conflict becomes connection when your tone says, I care about this relationship more than I care about being right. Chapter 8. Giving and receiving feedback gracefully. Feedback is the fuel of growth, yet most people treat it like a threat. Why? Because ego and fear get loud. Imagine a team where feedback is normal, not personal, where everyone says, thanks for catching that, instead of defending. To give feedback well. Lead with appreciation. You've been handling clients so smoothly lately. Describe behavior, not identity. The last report had a few data points missing. Offer a path. Let's create a quick checklist before submission. To receive feedback. Listen fully, don't interrupt. Ask clarifying questions. Say thank you even if your stomach twists. Growth rarely feels comfortable at first. But every time you accept feedback with grace, you send a silent message. I'm here to evolve. Chapter 9. The Power of Storytelling. Stories move hearts faster than statistics ever will. They make data human. When you present an idea, try this simple 3-part frame. Challenge what was happening before. Choice, what did you or the team decide to do? Change, what improved as a result. Example. Last quarter, our client engagement was dropping. We chose to personalize follow-up emails instead of using templates. Within a month, engagement rose by 35%. That's a story. It has struggle, decision, and success. When people feel a story, they remember it. When they remember, they act. Leaders tell stories not to boast, but to connect present efforts to future purpose. Chapter 10. Building Trust Through Everyday Actions. Trust isn't built by big speeches. It's built in the tiny moments nobody notices. Answer emails when you said you would. Admit mistakes quickly. Keep promises, even small ones. Give credit generously. Every time you follow through, you lay another brick in the bridge of reliability. There's a saying, trust arrives on foot and leaves on horseback. That means it takes time to build but seconds to lose. If you break trust, own it fast. I realized I dropped the ball on that update. That's on me. I'm correcting it now. People don't expect perfection. They expect honesty. Chapter 11. Collaboration and Team Synergy. Great teams are like orchestras, each instrument different, yet harmonized by rhythm and respect. Communication within teams thrives on 3 habits. Clarity of roles. Everyone should know who leads what. Open dialogue. Questions aren't interruptions, they're investments in accuracy. Shared wins. Celebrate out loud. Gratitude reinforces collaboration. A quick meeting ritual that works. Start with one success from the week. Address one challenge without blame. End with one intention for the next sprint. Simple, short, transformative. When you make collaboration safe, People stop competing for credit and start competing for excellence. Chapter 12. Leading through communication. Leadership isn't a job title. It's the ability to move others through words and example. Leaders communicate with three invisible skills: vision, empathy, and direction. Vision paints the why. Empathy keeps the team human. Direction turns ideas into motion. Think of Nelson Mandela's style: calm, measured, inclusive. He used language that invited participation. It is in your hands to make a better world. At work, leading might sound like, "I trust your judgment on this. Keep me posted if obstacles appear." That single sentence empowers someone more than a paragraph of micromanagement. Remember, leadership isn't louder, it's clearer. Chapter 13. CULTIVITING, a positive communication culture. Culture isn't written in handbooks, it's felt in hallways. If gossip, sarcasm, or avoidance rule your office, start the shift by example. Be the person who greets others sincerely, expresses appreciation in public, handles disagreement in private. Positivity spreads quietly but powerfully. One authentic compliment can ripple through a team for days. Try this tomorrow. Send a short message to a colleague. "Hey, your presentation yesterday really clarified things. Thanks for the effort." Small kindness, massive impact. Chapter 14. Remote communication and the digital era. Virtual work changed everything. We don't have the luxury of body language in pixels. Tone, timing, and clarity matter more than ever. Tips for thriving online. Keep messages concise. Walls of text create confusion. Use video when nuance matters. Overcommunicate expectations. Who does what and by when. When emotions rise, move to a call. Text amplifies misunderstanding. Your digital presence should mirror your real-life one. Grounded, polite, and clear. Remember, emojis don't replace empathy. Ask real questions. How are you holding up? Still matters. Chapter 15. The art of follow-up. The end of a conversation is never the end of communication. Following up shows reliability and respect. After meetings, send short summaries. Here, what we decided here. Who's doing what? Here's next week's check-in. After interviews or collaborations, express gratitude. Thank you for your insights today. I learned a lot. Follow-up keeps relationships alive long after words fade. Chapter 16. The inner voice. Every great communicator starts with one conversation, the one inside. How you talk to yourself determines how you talk to everyone else. If your inner voice is harsh, you'll carry that tone into meetings. If it's calm and kind, others will feel it. Think about it. When you make a mistake at work, what's your first thought? Do you say, "I'm so stupid," or "Okay, that didn't work, what can I learn?" The second response is communication with yourself that builds resilience. Here's a small daily ritual. Each morning before checking messages, whisper one grounding truth. I have everything I need to handle what comes today. Each evening before bed, reflect kindly. What did I do well today? What can I try differently tomorrow? Your voice to yourself becomes your presence with others. Self-compassion is not indulgence, it's preparation. Chapter 17. Managing stress and reactivity. Pressure is part of modern work life. But under stress, communication can shift from clear to chaotic in seconds. Picture this. You're in a meeting, someone challenges your idea, your heart races, your jaw tightens. You want to defend. But what if you did? What if you paused and said, "That's an interesting point. Tell me more about your perspective." Instantly, the tone changes. You move from reaction to leadership. Practice this quick reset. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Do that before responding to tension. Stress will always be there, but your power lies in the pause. Chapter 18. Communication across cultures. In today's world, you might share a meeting with colleagues from 5 different countries. Success now requires cultural intelligence. Different cultures have different communication values. Some prize directness, others value harmony. Some use silence as respect, others fill silence with reassurance. To succeed globally, adopt the curiosity mindset. How do you prefer feedback? What communication style works best in your culture? You don't need to know every rule. You just need to show respect through curiosity. That question, how do you prefer to communicate, might be the most powerful sentence in modern leadership. Chapter 19. The courage to speak up. At some point, success requires your voice, even when it trembles. There's a story of a junior designer named Priya. She was quiet, observant, and brilliant. During a product meeting, she noticed a design flaw that could cost the company thousands. She hesitated. She was new, shy, and unsure if anyone would listen. But she spoke anyway. "I might be wrong, but I noticed something that could impact the customer experience." The room went silent. The team reviewed her point and realized she was right. That one act changed her career trajectory. Speaking up isn't about ego. It's about care. When your voice serves something larger than you, quality, fairness, truth, it becomes courage in action. Chapter 20. Mentorship and networking. Successful communicators don't walk alone. They build networks of mutual respect, not just for opportunity, but for wisdom. Find a mentor who challenges and believes in you. Ask thoughtful questions. What do you wish you known early in your career? How do you handle difficult people? Then become that mentor for someone else. Communication grows through exchange. Networking isn't handing out business cards. It's creating authentic connections where both people feel seen. Send genuine follow-ups. "I appreciated your perspective on leadership. It gave me a lot to think about." People remember sincerity more than self-promotion. Chapter 21. The power of questions. Questions are the currency of wisdom. When you ask the right ones, people open up. They reveal motivations, fears, and hidden strengths. In meetings, instead of saying, "We should do this," try, "What options have we not explored yet?" With colleagues, "What would make this easier for you?" With yourself, "What's really needed in this situation? Validation, clarity, or action?" Questions shift communication from control to collaboration. The best communicators aren't always the ones with answers. They're the ones who keep curiosity alive. Chapter 22. Dealing with office politics. Politics exist wherever humans gather, but they don't have to poison your peace. The secret is boundaries and awareness. Observe dynamics without judgment. Align with integrity, not flattery. And remember, silence is sometimes the strongest statement. When gossip starts, you can redirect gently. "That's tough. I'm not sure it's my place to comment, but how can we support them?" Be known as the person who rises above negativity. Power built on integrity lasts longer than power built on manipulation. Chapter 23. Speaking in meetings and presentations. Public speaking is one of the most common workplace fears. But every meeting is a stage, a chance to practice presence. Before you speak, prepare your key points. Breathe slowly. Focus on service, not self. Say to yourself, "I'm not performing, I'm contributing." Then start with a story or question. Let me share a quick example that shaped how I see this issue. Stories break the ice, questions open minds. End with clarity. Here, what I suggest we do next. Confidence isn't the absence of nerves. It's the decision to show up anyway. Chapter 24. building your professional reputation. Your communication shapes how people describe you when you're not in the room. Do they say, "She's always thoughtful and reliable"? "He's great under pressure"? They're a great listener. That reputation forms through consistency, not one big moment, but 1,000 small ones. Be the person who keeps calm when others panic, communicates updates clearly, uplifts conversations instead of draining them. Reputation is your silent resume. Guard it with grace. Chapter 25. Balance, BOUNDRAES, and Burnout. Sometimes success in communication means knowing when not to talk. Silence is also communication, especially when it's chosen with self-respect. If you're exhausted, overcommitted, or resentful, your tone will betray it. Boundaries protect the quality of your voice. It's okay to say, "I'd love to support that, but I'm at capacity this week. Can we revisit this after I finish the current priority?" Clear boundaries create sustainable careers. When you honor your limits, you teach others to respect them too. Chapter 26. COMMUNICATNG with Compassion. Compassion at work isn't weakness, it's leadership disguised as kindness. When someone struggles, don't rush to fix. Simply say, "I hear you." Compassion creates safety. Safety creates innovation. Teams that feel cared for take more creative risks. So when you have the choice between being clever or being kind, choose kind. Your words might be the reason someone doesn't give up that day. Chapter 27. Continuous Improvement. Great communicators never stop evolving. After each important conversation, reflect. What worked well? Where did I lose connection? What can I try next time? Keep a short communication journal. Note what phrases calm tense moments or which tone invites trust. Mastery isn't a destination, it's a daily tune-up. And like any craft, it sharpens through attention. Chapter 28. The Future of Work and Human Connection. Artificial intelligence, automation, and remote systems are changing everything, except one truth. Humans still crave human connection. No technology replaces empathy, clarity, and trust. In the future workplace, your edge won't be your technical skill alone. It will be your emotional fluency. Your ability to say, "I understand you," when others feel unseen. The world needs communicators who remind people they still matter. Chapter 29. The Energy Behind Your Words. Every word carries energy. When spoken with tension, it constricts. When spoken with calm intention, it expands. Before important talks, take 30 seconds to ground. Imagine your breath cleaning your energy. Say silently, "May my words bring clarity and connection." That's the difference between transactional and transformational communication. Chapter 30. Your Legacy of Communication. Years from now, no one will remember every email you wrote or meeting you led. But they will remember how you made them feel. Did you bring calm when chaos erupted? Did you make people feel capable and heard? Did you speak truth with grace? That's your communication legacy. Conclusion: your voice is your power. Take a moment. Think about everything you've learned: presence, empathy, clarity, listening, storytelling, courage, and calm. These aren't just work skills, they are life skills. When you speak with purpose, you help people trust. When you listen deeply, you help them heal. When you communicate with honesty, you help everyone, including yourself, succeed. Success at work isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the most aligned, aware, and authentic communicator in it. Your words have the power to shift energy. Your tone has the power to calm storms. Your presence has the power to inspire change. So step forward. Speak with clarity. Listen with your heart. And watch your career and your life transformed through the simple, timeless power of connection. End of the audiobook. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share if YouTube like our audiobooks. Thanks for listening. Empower Audio.